Well, hello and welcome to Stockton Junction. So today's video is the continuation of the farm and field, and as you can see I've already started doing some grassing on there, which I'll go through in a minute. If you watched the last video on the barn, you'll see that I built the barn and put that in. I've also done this barn. I fitted lights inside and outside, and I've used the scale model scenery straw bale inside to hide wires at the back and everything, and to make it look like there's stuff inside. Obviously I've got some of the farm machinery there in place. I've also started doing a little allotment scene, which the farmer's wife is doing, and obviously because this is actually more of a livestock farm, so they've got a few veggies and things growing there. I've got to finish off that area over there and put a load of trees in at the back there, which I will be doing next, and the hedgerow along the back there, and a lot more bushes and things along the edge of the wall, a bit like what I've done this side, just to break up the wall and hide little bits like this. So on the joins on there I'll be hiding all those quite nicely. As you can see, you can't really see them on the back wall because they're hidden. It really makes it look much better. So for this area, what I did was I layered 2mm summer grass mixed with another 2mm grass. I can't remember, I think it was a 2mm summer, two different versions of summer. They were slightly different shades. Left some patches which I'm going to deal with later, which will be the same as this. So I'll be using a wash over the areas, and then some, once that's dried, some highlights from my dry brushing. And after that I then used some 6mm autumn to create the patches. So that's why you get the variation in the patches. And I'm going to make this into two different fields, so there'll be a fence coming across here. That will be a cow field at the back and a sheep field at the front here. So I've got to continue the fencing from here all the way round, and I do already have all my scale model scenery fencing that I've already painted and weathered. So it's hard to see that there yet, but it is painted and weathered, same as that lot. And that's what I'll be doing next, is putting some trees and fencing in. Some of you may have noticed this is a 3D printed cattle feeder which I have made myself, and I will be selling these in the very near future. As you can see, I've weathered it up, rusted with a bit of rust. There'll be one here in this area as well, which I'm going to make another one. What these are used for on the farms, so the farmers use their bales, so that is why you have round bales, because they come along with a forklift, drop the bale in the middle like so, and then the cows can come along and eat the straw. That's how they use those. The only issue I have is that the bale is too big for the sheep to get into. They're only just reach over to the top, where they can reach, but barely. So I'm going to make another version of this, but a lower version for the sheep field. So I'll have two different versions of this available within the next week or so. So there'll be the cow version and the sheep version, and I'll be selling those in both unpainted form and also in painted and weathered form. So that will be two products, or two products available in both versions, so for anyone that wants them. So I'm going to leave it there for a minute. I'm going to get on with some of the trees and bits at the back there, and I'll come back and show you the progress as it comes along. I'll see you soon. So the next job I'm doing is to do the muddy areas, and as you can see, I'm putting the wall and floor grout into these areas, like so. Just push it in and around. There is a reason for this, which will become apparent very shortly. So as I said, we've got the cattle feeders. Now I've actually just printed off, which are running at the moment, some sheep versions which are much lower here, and obviously the base is a bit lower, so they sit about this high. But what we'll do, they're exactly the same footprint, so I'm going to use this one anyway. So this is going to go here, so we're going to put a circle there. Which will fit in nicely. Just flatten that top bit, and then I'm just going to get a sheet, and make some little footprints. Like so. That's just to make it look a bit more like the sheep are going around in the mud and stuff. It'll add a lot more interest to the area. I think that will do. So once you've got that done, all I'm going to do is I'm going to come along with my spray bottle, which is just 70% IPA, and I'm going to wet the area. The good thing about this is a very fine mist, so it doesn't disrupt the bits that I've put onto the detail, like if you're putting vehicle tracks or anything like that. So that one's done. I'm not going to do any footprints in the other side. I need a cowl for that, and I don't think I've actually got any laying around, so I'm going to carry on doing the areas over here, which is going to be the cow field, and get that ready. But there's going to be a fence going across, a hedge row going across there with a little gate somewhere here. I haven't decided exactly where. Actually might do it a little bit further back actually. So once that's dried, we'll come back and we'll be painting it and giving it some washes and weathering, just like we have done with this, so it'll all look the same as this does. And that's that for now, and I'll come back in a little while and show you the progress. So I've put some of the powders into these areas and soaked them and dried them. I'm now giving them a quick paint, and the next job is to give them a wash, which I'm using this, which is the MIG enamel wash, and it is the Troughs wash. So once that's done, I'll be using these highlighting powders, and I'll be doing the highlights on there like I've done on here. I'll bring out bits just in case you wanted to know what this one is. This is actually this kit. I got given it, so it didn't cost me anything, luckily. So I'll be doing that, and then I'll be working on obviously getting the bits into the fields, and I'll come back and show you once I've just done these bits, when we start to put in some of the other bits and pieces. The other thing that I have done is I started doing the trees along the back, and as you can see, so how I've done it, it makes the tunnel look like a tunnel going down the track. So what you do get in real life is tracks with trees all the way overhead, and what this does is it changes the perspective of the track just ending at the backboard, and you can imagine it going off through the trees and coming out the other side. So that really helps to finish that corner off. I've still got a little bit of area to do there in front of the farmhouse. I'm going to put a nice little trimmed hedge in and some flowers and such like. And I've still got obviously lots of bits and pieces to put in the farmyard area, but it's getting there. It's nearly done. I've got the cows. I'm going to be putting cows in this field and sheep in this field. The sheep, I think I showed previously, but they're the Pico model scene sheep. But the cows, I didn't like a lot of the cows that you were able to buy. So I've got some 3D printed ones that I've printed off. I'm in the middle of painting. It's quite a tedious and long job, but I think they'll look much better than sort of pack bought ones, so that should be good. Anyway, I will leave it there for now, and I'll come back and show you when I've progressed a little bit more, and I'll see you soon. So I've put the washes on and they've all dried, and I'm using the makeup kit now and just going over some bits of it with some of the different browns and other colours, just to pick out some of the highlights. The good thing about these is that if you put too much on, as there, you can rub it and get them off. It's just about adding tones of colour in, just to sort of blend in the different areas. So give some variation of colour. Went a bit light on that, a bit heavy on that one, so I'm just going to use a bit of like a black, which is, that'll tone that down a little bit. That patch, I don't like that patch very much there, so you can always take these off anyway, but I do want lots of variation in colour for where different things are. Just need to use another anyway. I'm going to continue doing these areas to make up all these muddy patches. I've still got all these to go, and then I'll show you the next part of what I'm doing on this area. So as I previously discussed, I have the two cattle feeders. They are different, obviously. If I hold them side by side, you can see one is lower than the other. So this one is for the sheep, because obviously the sheep can't get into this one. Excuse me. So this one's the right height for a sheep to get into, and these are the Pico sheep. This one is for the cows, so this is going to be the cow field this side, so these are going to go over this side, and this one should nicely rusted up is going to go there. So we have one there and one over there. I'm going to have a hedgerow going across here to divide the two fields up, and obviously all the sheep in this field and the cows in this one. And I nearly finished painting all the cows. It's been quite a while taking to do those, and hopefully in the next part of the video I might have those done and in place. So, and the hedge, etc. I also need to get a little gate to that I can put sort of about here between the hedges, so maybe there's access through to get to the sheep in and out if the cows are out of the field. So that's going to be one of the next areas. I've got also going to start on that, as I said earlier on. I'm going to start that in a minute, and then I've got some figures there still to go in, and a few other bits and pieces I've still got to put on the farm area to finish it off, but I haven't got everything that I need yet, so some of it will be done later on after the video's finished. But the main part of this video is getting this field done and the farmhouse area, so I can start working on the front area for the scrapyard. So thanks for watching so far, and I'll see you in a minute with the next part. So for the cattle feeders, I've got some of the foam. I've cut it out in a circle and shaped it, painted it black, and glued some straw, static grass straw on the top. And as you can see, I fit it inside, pushing it in from the bottom. There you go. And then we have the feeder with straw in. Obviously if there's any patches you can add a bit of glue and a bit more grass, but these go quite well. I've started placing some of the cattle in, so that will sit in there, and then they can be feeding at the station. So obviously I've got to finish gluing all that down. I've just put in a big rough patch of static grass there because I'm going to sit a trailer with some bales on there, and next job is just to put a little bit of bits and pieces along the side of the wall and maybe a bit along the edge of the fence just to break up the fencing. But also because this walling has these joins like that, which obviously on the back wall you can't see because I've nicely blocked them all off, and it's coming on quite nicely now. So there will be a little bit of a competition, so I'm going to have a little farm sign there for the farm, and I need a name for the farm. So if any of you guys want to drop me an email with suggestions, or you can put it in the comments, that's fine. Actually, yeah, just put it in the comments. Just so I'm looking for a name for my farm, and I'm going to choose the one I like the most out of all of the suggestions, and that will be what the farm is called. So you guys get to name the farm. So enjoy. I hope you have a go, and I'll come back in a minute when I'm done a bit more progress on the fields. Right, so the farm is more or less finished. There will be a few other little bits and pieces to add of details like around the farmyard and stuff, but I'm going to do that at a much later date. I'm going to leave it there for now. I'm very happy with the progress, and I want to start working on this area in front as well at some point soon, and I've got some other areas that I'm going to be working on as well. So obviously all the 3D printed cows came up really well, so I have 3 new products that I've made myself that I'm going to be 4 products that I'm going to be putting up on eBay First one is the cattle feeder for the cows, and that's all to true dimensions. The next one will be the sheep feeder, and the reason it's different is because the base of it is lower, because the sheep won't reach in with the cattle feeder one. So we've got that one and that one. We've also got the troughs that I've made, which I've got there and there. I've also, sorry about the quick movements there, I've put one in there, so they've got their feed trough, but they've got water trough as well. And I'll put a couple just laying around in the farmyard. There'll be lots of other junk and bits going in there, so they'll all add up to making a realistic scene. So, and obviously I've also got the little chicken feeders there that I made. So that's 4 items. They will be on eBay. I will put them on, and I will put links in the description to this video as well. I will be offering multiple versions, so you can have the plain resin ones, or you can have painted and weathered versions as well. So I mean, like that, it's all nicely weathered up, looks more realistic to me. Yes, you could have a nice shiny one if you want a brand new one, but they wouldn't be like that for long. Anyway, so I've done that. Obviously I've fitted all my sheep in, little farmer, sheep farmer with his dog, and I've got a scale model scenery trailer there with I can't remember, I think they're Tassima hay bales. Just thought I'd put them on there just to make it look a bit better. What else have I got? So the fencing is scale model scenery that's going all the way around. That's obviously painted and weathered to make it look a bit old. So yeah, so that's a Hornby pigsty. I can't remember the make of the chicken coop. It was a German one. I can't remember off the top of my head. Another scale model scenery little cart there. Got the beehives with the flower beds. So there. Got a few other bits and pieces. They're 3D printed. The two, that one and that one are 3D printed. I can't remember where I got those off the top of my head. So inside the barn we have some scale model scenery bales at the back, just to block off the back of the barn. Scale model scenery crates there as well. I've got those 2 bits there, which I think are a German kit of something, I can't remember. We've got the little scale model scenery outhouse barn thing there, which fits in really nicely. Again, I've got the Hornby shed there, which I'm using as a tractor shed, which is all actually painted and weathered up, so it doesn't come looking like that. The oil container was a 3D printed item that I bought. Can't remember where from now off the top of my head again, so apologies. Scale scenes farm building, and again those patches that I've got there were a sets I bought off eBay probably about 4 or 5 years ago, so I can't remember who from, but they've been sat there waiting to be used for quite some time. And obviously I've got this combine harvester which I've painted up. I do really want to get some lettering, wording to go on there, some transfers if I can get it, just to finish it off, but I'm still quite happy with it. It did actually come with missing the beam, and that is actually a piece of plastic sprue off a model kit, and some that blue and yellow putty stuff that you get from Warhammer to make the little boom bit to go on the end, and it fits perfectly. I did also, obviously I've fully painted it, but I also added little blades going round the outside edge just to make it look a little bit better as well. So but I think that looks quite nice just sat there. I could actually reverse it all into there, but I don't think it looks as nice. I want to these aren't glued down. I didn't want to glue any of those bits down, just in case I decide to move it in the future. There is lighting, as you can see there, and there's lighting inside, and there is lighting in the barn as well, and there's lighting that I fitted to the little one there. I didn't put any lighting in the tractor farm barn, but I should have done really, but it's a bit late now. Anyway, that's pretty much finished. I'm really happy with the results. I think it looks pretty good. So if you want any of the items that I've made, as I said, they will be up for sale. There will be, if you want painted ones, there'll definitely be a little bit of a delay on them, because I will do them to order. I'm not going to sit there and make up loads just in case someone wants one. And anyway, thanks for watching the video. Obviously I can't remember if I actually said, but I'd like to do a little competition as well. I'm sure I said it in the previous video that I recorded, but that was probably about 5 or 6 days ago, because I've been busy doing other bits. I'm going to put a little farm sign there with the name of the farm. So what I want is one of you guys to name my farm for me. So if you would like to, also in the description there will be an email address. If you would like to email me your name, and what I would do is at random, I'll choose, say, 5 that I really like, and at random I'll pick one out, and you will have the privilege of having the farm name on the sign there. So it'll be sitting just on the wall there by the corner there. I'm just going to put a little sign. So if you'd like to have a go, give me an email. And thanks for watching, and I will see you all soon with the next video.